Sunday morning. I hope you guys are having a wonderful new year so far. So this morning, just like title say, I'm going to try out James Hoffman's, it's called Ultimate V60 Technique. I saw that video a couple years ago. I think it's last year or a couple years ago. I just fall in love with it. But I don't have opportunity to make that video. So you know what? Since this is new year, and then I'm going to try to copy his technique, okay? And then he was using 32, so hold on, I have the recipe here. So the recipe calls for 30 grams for 500 grams of water. So 500 milliliter of water. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna use 30. So that's good for two persons. So I'm gonna make a single portion of it. So I'm gonna be using 15 grams of coffee, and then I'm gonna yield about 250 milliliters. So that's what we're gonna do. So this morning I'm going to use freshly roasted coffee beans from Peru, okay? I know some of you saw video this morning. I edited video. I roasted this one last weekend up in Mesa. So this is really fresh. They are really delicious coffee. So yesterday morning I used V60 using these beans, so this morning I'm going to use the proper technique. Hopefully this technique works. Okay, I know James Hoffman's videos are usually right on it, so I'm really looking forward to try out his recipe. By the way, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the community. So my morning live show, we talk about usually topical, okay? So talk about how-to videos in the first part of the video. And the second part of the video, most likely Q&A. We are just chit-chatting, hanging out. So feel free to stay for that. If not, welcome to the community, and make sure to subscribe my channel as well. Okay, so this morning I'm gonna be using, again, the St. Anthony Industry, it's called mid-right hand grinder. Yes, I do have this wonderful niche grinder, but something about hand grinder, I really enjoy using it. I mean, it's really fun to use. So, and then let's see here. So yesterday, seems like the flow was a little bit fast. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm going to adjust my grinder setting to 1 click finer. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm just gonna do 1 click finer. There we go. And then I'm gonna be using 15 grams. Let's see here. Hold on. I mean, if you guys are looking for, okay, if you are using Bristol Espresso at home, if you cannot afford to buy like another coffee grinder, definitely look into hand grinder as well. Hand grinder is great for like pour over or French press, so definitely look into that. And so far I've been using mid-right. So far so good, okay? I'm really enjoying it. So 15 grams of coffee beans. Okay. Just gonna ground. Okay. I'm just gonna pop it in here. Hold on. Usually it takes about 30 seconds. By the way, so yesterday I used the rinse out paper first for V60. I know some of you write me a comment that sometimes you cannot tell the difference. But I did. But I can tell a little difference in flavor, okay? Not too much though. So if you don't have time to rinse out your paper, I don't think it's not a big deal there. But today we are going to rinse out the paper as well. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is, yes, I do have stove right next door, but something about using this butane burner, so I'm gonna use that one. Okay. I got my hot water almost ready. So I'm going to be boiling hot, okay? I like to use boiling hot water. All right. Okay, I bought this one from Amazon for like 10 bucks. Man, this is a lot of fun to use. Check this out. I mean, how cool is this? Okay. I mean, they're fantastic, they're fun to use and great. Okay, so water is almost ready. Meantime, I'm gonna rinse my paper as well. Okay. Give it about another few more seconds. There we go. Okay, water is nice and hot, boiling. So first what we're gonna do is we are going to rinse paper, okay? I know some of you don't have to, but I like to do it, okay? I'm just gonna make sure everything is nice and warm. Okay, hold on, let me toss this water out. So I'm going to be using the 15 grams, so I'm going to be yield about, let's say 250 grams of coffee there. So ideally you want to use a scale with a timer. That's the ideal. If you don't have it, just make sure you get some kind of timer built in, okay? So first, hold on a second. According to the recipe, hold on. I think I screwed up there. Hold on a sec. This is great thing about the live show. You have to watch everything. Okay, so I got 15 grams. I'm just gonna toss it in right in the middle. Okay. I'm just gonna make sure I shake it a little bit. And then you are going to make, here we go. You are going to make a little bit of, you can use finger or spoon. I think I'm going to use the spoon. Make a little, kind of like little dip there. So you are going to put some water in it. So water is hot. So I'm going to, first of all, I need to tare my scale. And I'm going to start the time. It's called blooming phase. I'm just going to slowly. So I'm going to put about 30, so I'm going to do 1 to 2 ratio, so 30 grams of water. 40 grams, that's fine. I'm going to wait about 40 seconds. Yeah. In the meantime, I'm going to shake a little bit. Actually, James actually did a stir as well. So I'm going to stir it a little bit. Okay. Just going to wait for a little. Wait about 30 seconds. There we go. And then I'm going to put 60% of my total yield. So which means about 150 grams. Okay. And then I'm going to wait about a minute and a half. Something about making V60 is very soothing. Okay, so I'm into a minute and a half there. And I'm going to put the rest of the water in. I'm looking at 250 grams. Okay. And then what he did was he gently swerved it. Okay, right to left. And I'm going to gently shake, make sure everything is nice and even. There we go. So I'm looking for just around 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes for total extraction, around there. So we'll see how it goes. Okay. So I'm using the single portion, not the double. The single serving. Okay, that looks really good. Okay, so far everything's nice and evenly. I'm into about 2-minute mark there, almost 3-minute mark. Okay, very close. Very, very close there. Okay. So meantime, I'm gonna finish up till like 3.5-minute mark, and then I'm gonna warm up my cup as well, because you know you don't want to put hot coffee in the cold coffee mug. So coffee cup, I'm just gonna heat up my cup and then toss it. So now I'm around 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So I'm just gonna take it out. Okay, I'm just gonna set to the side. Okay, so this is it. So this is a single serving. So this is the James Hoffmann's the ultimate V60 technique. So let's try this. Okay, let's try this. The color looks amazing though. And I have the right ratio as well. So here we go. The great thing about the V60, look at the color of it. Man, just like crystal clear. I mean, if you guys love like clean taste of coffee, definitely try out the V60. If you haven't owned one, just get one. Cheers. Wow, it's more cleaner. I really like the James Hoffmann's technique. I did one yesterday. I think this is much, much better. Really? All of them will bring out all the sweetness in the coffee, because the coffee from Peru is really bright and sweet, and also very nutty too. Man, it's really good. I wish you guys are here to taste this. I mean, they're fantastic. Okay, just the color alone. That's why I mean, with the filter coffee, you take out all the imperfection in the coffee there, which means all the oil from the crema, get rid of that. So you are going to get the kind of like the true essence of flavor coffee. Yeah, it's really good, really fantastic.
Julie asks, is it better than an Americano?
It's okay. Question from Julie: is that better than Americano? It's different. Okay, it's not or better or worse. It's definitely different flavor. So I mean, obviously, if you guys are watching my channel, most likely you guys have an espresso machine at home. Yes, is that better? It's different. Okay, I mean, that's why you want to try both. And so this is really good for like Sunday morning, like today, like this morning, even like Saturday morning, Sunday morning when you have time. Kind of like, you know, make yourself nice V60, kind of like chemex as well. I mean, just really fun. I mean, just here, let me show you the color of it. Okay, let me show you the color. As you can see from there, it's very clear. Just fantastic. Just fantastic. Take a look. I mean, you can see it's like really clear color. I mean, like this, with the Americano long black, you have the crema, so it's somewhat murky. But with V60, just with the filter, I mean, just it's good. Okay. So something like that, you definitely don't want to put sugar or milk in it. So that's great for like just straight up. Okay, just drinking straight up. I'm really enjoying this. Fantastic. Okay. All right. So any questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Why didn't you use the niche grinder?
Someone asked me, why don't I use a niche grinder? I mean, you know what? Something about using hand grinder, it is something about it is really, it's fun for me. Okay. So next coming week, I'm going to try Scott Rayos. I think his name is Scott Rayos. He has another V60 technique. So I'm going to try his technique with the niche grinder. I think he has a video on that. I know one video I saw, he was using niche grinder. So I'm going to try that, his recipe this week.
Somebody asked, is the Barista Touch any good?
Someone asked me, is Barista Touch any good? I think it's a double the price, I think. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, how much for the Barista Touch? It's like 14 or 1500 bucks. Heather, can you look it up for me? I'm gonna have my wife look it up for me, the Barista Touch price. I think they are, my wife is looking at the Barista, what, how much? $1,000, okay, so Barista Express, you are at $699 right now. So you pay $300 more for Touch. I mean, Touch is, I mean, they are really nice, but, okay, I mean, if you like kind of like hands-on, I mean, if you're looking at the like analog gauge and stuff like that, I think I go with Barista Express, but you want something more visual, somebody guides you step by step. I mean, if you have the extra money, go with the Touch. But they are pretty much the same machine. I think they are both use 54 millimeter portafilter as well. But if you go to Oracle line, I think they all use 58 millimeter. So.
Linda asked, is the cold brew system similar to V60?
Is Linda asked me, is a cold brew system to be, you know, I'm not sure about cold brew because I never tried cold brew yet. So that's something I want to try this year. I think that, but so far I saw very similar to kind of like filter coffee. So yeah, I mean, if anybody knows more about cold brew, please let me know in the comment as well. Yeah.
Linda says also, I wonder if it's easier to taste notes with a V60 compared to espresso shot.
Okay, someone, the Linda asked, she's wondering, you can tell the difference, more difference in V60 over Americano. I think yes and no, because with this you have to take out all the oil, the crema, because crema has all the unique taste as well mixed with you know, espresso. So again, it's kind of like different comparing apple to orange. But comes to like plain coffee, if you like black coffee, definitely try out the V60 and, you know, like Americano. I think you are going to tell the difference in kind of unique way. So I mean, you can actually smell the coffee and it's really interesting. Okay, it's really good.
Mike says he's tried the Americano and the way you're doing it, and he likes the way you're doing it when he drinks it black. It's very smooth,
yeah,
clear.
Yeah, because again, so if you like to drink Americano or V60, you just want to drink plain. Okay, so that's why it's really important having a good fresh coffee, because you're not gonna get that flavor from a store-bought coffee. Okay, it's really difficult because you know you want the freshest as possible. That's why, I mean, if you have time and space, definitely worth trying the home roasting. I think that's, I mean, instead of getting a fancy espresso machine, you can go with mid-range machine with, get yourself decent home coffee roaster. I mean, you are going to have great time with it.
Florian asks, my puck from the Barista is often very wet. Some ideas.
Florian asked me, my puck is wet because mine as well. Okay, sometimes whenever I use different coffee beans, it gets wet. I mean, I think that's what it is. I mean, it's nothing wrong with your machine, but you might want to change your dosing amount. But I think it's not a big deal. Okay, as long as you know, just go by your taste. As long as your taste good, yeah. Because puck quality is not that. I don't know. I mean, I don't too much time, you know, thinking about my puck quality. Let's put it that way.
Can you do a comparison with a chemex sometime?
Someone asked me, can I? Yes. My plan is I'm planning on getting chemex, so you know we can do comparison. But here's the thing about chemex. Chemex is more for like, you know, if you have a large group of people, they use like, you know, 40, 50 grams of coffee. So I mean, pretty much the same paper. Paper might be different, but you know, pretty much the same style of technique anyway. So because I mean, you can usually tell from coffee, the end product, you want to be nice and flat on the bottom. So that's something you have to play with the grinder size and the water temperature. But yeah, we are going to try that this year.
Julie asks, how does it compare to a French press?
I have no luck with the French press so far, so Julie asked me. So I think I'm gonna try. James Hoffmann has another great ultimate French press technique, so I'm gonna try that soon. So you know what? Maybe we do both. We're gonna try the V60 and French press at the same time. It's gonna be a fun video. Again, I mean, entire process takes about what, less than 5 minutes. So this is really easy setup. So plus you can take anywhere. You know, go on little camping trip or yeah, I mean you can just, that's all you need. I mean you don't even need this bottom piece. You just use a cup instead. So only thing you need is the top portion of it. Some hand grinder. That's it.
Can you do a video on coffee bean roasting one day?
Someone asked me, can you do, by the way, I have plenty of videos on coffee bean roasting on my channel. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to subscribe. And yes, someday I'll definitely do the live roasting session. They're a lot of fun, okay? I'm using the Bmore, so usually it takes about 10 minutes to roast about half pound.
Somebody shares Clever Drip. It's similar to French press, but easier to clean up.
Okay, someone mentioned about the Clever Drip as well. By the way, there is tons and tons of drip systems out there. Obviously, we got V60. I think San Antonio Industry are like they have it's called C70 system. We got goodness Hario makes, not the Hario. Some other company makes it's called Origami system. I know Fellow has own system. Yeah, so there's quite a few, but it's ultimately pretty much the same. You got the pour over with the paper. So, but yeah, I'm planning on doing some more other system. That's the plan for that.
Mike says in San Diego he has a specific cold brew system that he really loves.
So Mike, so how's it going with your new espresso machine? Let me know.
He said it was sent back. He's waiting.
Oh, that's right, Mike. You sent back, right? So he's getting a new one, correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Rob says he makes his cold brew in a large mason jar with a coarse grind and leaves it for 12 to 24 hours.
Okay, so Rob just mentioned about his cold brew method. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Where did you get the brush sitting on your niche?
The brush, someone asked me out there, where do I get, this one came with a niche grinder, but you can't just go to any like store. I have a couple brush at work. I just got it from Walmart as well. They're like only a couple of dollars for this. So yes, I mean this is really, it's handy. Okay.
Instead of using filter paper, you can get the Hario sock cloth version of the filter. It will give you much better clarity than filter paper.
Okay, someone asking me about the socks. Instead of using filter paper, the Hario. Okay, the one downside of that is cleaning. Okay, so because you gotta clean it properly. With V60 paint, you just toss it. So yes, I know what you're talking about. Those socks I hear are amazing. Okay, if you think this is clear, I heard that they're even more clear. So give you more cleaner taste.
Is popcorn popper good enough for roasting?
Someone asked me, is popcorn popper good enough for coffee roasting? The answer is yes, but you cannot do too much of it. You can do about maybe like 150 or 200 grams at a time. So I mean, it does work, okay? But if you are serious about coffee roasting, I definitely check out the Bmore. I think that's the best bang for the buck for the entry level coffee machine, coffee roasting machine. But here's the thing, my Bmore coffee roaster, if I'm going to compare that with the real coffee roasters, honestly, I cannot tell the difference. Okay, so I mean that's the thing about coffee roasting. Once you got the coffee roaster down, because you are going to roast by your taste, so you can actually adjust it. So because tasting is very subjective, and if you buy coffee beans from like local coffee shops, they have their own blend. But once you start roasting it at home, you are going to roast pretty much, it's just kind of like it's all up to you. So I think it tastes better from home. Don't get me, yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but so far, for my experience, I like my home roaster.
Where was the best coffee you taste? At home or a cafe? Asked Florian.
Florian asked me where, you know what, the best coffee I ever taste is at home, okay? Because if you go to a coffee shop, they have their own standard, you know? They have their own blend, you know? So it's all depend on the barista behind the coffee machine. So, I mean, at least to make it home is all, you know, I mean, you have every control of your coffee, but if you go to a coffee shop, you have no control. Unless if you go to really specialty coffee shop with fantastic barista, it's gonna be hard to beat. Hard to beat.
Florian asked, do you have a Patreon account?
Florian asked me, do I have a Patreon account? My answer is no, okay? I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of like worried about having Patreon account because I'm just having fun with it. You know, I mean, this is more fun for me. This is more for hobby. You know, I'm not doing it for, you know, I mean, making money or side job. So yeah, I mean, I really, you know, sharing with you guys, having fun with it. So I don't know, maybe down the road, maybe I might have Patreon, but meantime, I mean, I like this relationship. Let's put it that way.
A viewer shares they have a Bmore system.
Okay, one of the viewer has Bmore. What?
Dylan's asking them what model do they have.
Okay, so
I don't know their name, but whoever put down that they have the Bmore, can they tell us
okay,
what the model is?
So one of our viewers have a Bmore, so I don't know which model do you have because I have Bmore 1600. It's about 10 years old. I think it's more than 10 years old. It's pretty old. So you got the Bmore 1600, you got a 1600 plus, you got the Bmore A and B, and that just came, I think in Dane just about a Bmore 2200. So it all depends, but they're very affordable. Okay, let's put it that way. They're like between $300 and $400 range there. So if you have the space and time, it's nothing like roasting your own coffee. Plus, it's a lot cheaper too. You can get a pound of coffee, green beans for around like $5 or $6, compared to what, $20 per pound if you buy from local grocery store, or between 12 and 15. So still cheaper, and you're gonna get it really fresh. That's it. I think we are good for this morning. Okay. Anyway, definitely try out the V60 technique from James Hoffmann. I'm gonna put link down below as well for his video. So make sure to check it out. I mean, if you don't know who James Hoffmann is, he's the world-class barista, and he does fantastic job. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great Sunday morning. Make sure to follow me on Instagram as well. And what else? I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow morning. Okay.